Hey, so it is New Year's Eve. It is December 31st, and I thought I would do a little bit of a year in review type of video. Um, so this year I only read 17 books. Now that doesn't sound like too many until you realize that that is more than one book per month. And you also have to realize that the first 2 months of the year I wasn't reading at all. So you have to count that as even more. And then the books that I did read were actually pretty dense. Several of them were dense philosophy books. One of them was philosophy and mathematics, and one of them was almost 800 pages, and another one was pretty dense history book. So I actually do feel like I accomplished quite a bit this year in terms of reading. um, Now, on top of that, I also wrote a paper, and I got that paper published. And that paper is 4,970 words, which is just 30 shy of my goal of 5,000. Which is a win in my book. That's close enough to count it as a win for me. um, I I also started on another paper, but I haven't gotten very far in that one. And I've also started reading 3 other books. On top of that, I also listened to a lot of audiobooks actually this year. This year was a very audiobook heavy year. And I still have a lot of audiobooks to listen to that are on my list. At present, I have 51 physical books that I need to finish reading. So that'll be 51 videos that I'll probably make. And I cannot get any more books until after I've read those 51 books, because I simply don't have the room for any more books. And I'm hoping that by the time I do finish reading those 51, I will be in a better position to get more books. Now, the interesting thing, it was right near the end of the year. What If Alt Hist actually put out a couple of videos, and you may have heard about this. But I've been watching people go over the archives and talk about them. He says that it was satire of the left, but there is nothing satirical about this at all. In his own explanation, he nitpicked. He basically nitpicked a reason why this was satire. And it's because of a single definition that he used in one of the videos. And most of the videos have nothing to do with this pet entry. They are literally just him telling his life story and his family history. And he's not reading off of a script. That's the thing. You can tell. He is not reading off of a script. So this is not satire. This wasn't a pre-written story. This is his honest retelling of things that he remembers, or at least believes he remembers, because there's a lot of evidence that he probably actually went insane and was not capable of discerning what is and is not real. He now he's done. He was talking about doing drugs in these videos, and he actually, in one of the videos, he did chug a jug of kratom. So, and kratom is known to cause psychosis. So, and he has psychotic symptoms. He has symptoms of psychosis. And he's taking drugs that make you psychotic. So, I think there might be a link there. What If Alt Hist is someone who I've watched before. I knew he was kind of a midwit at best, because he really doesn't have a true grasp on a lot of things. The way he speaks and writes, he very obviously does not have the genius level IQ that he wants people to believe he does. He very often mispronounces words and uses very poor grammar and says things that are completely nonsensical. And on top of that, he's actually praised Kurt Doolittle. And Kurt Doolittle, honestly, I don't know how Kurt Doolittle ever got famous. Because Kurt Doolittle, all he does is make word salads, and literal word salads. Like, he puts together strings of words that are completely contradictory to each other. And he doesn't ever explain how these things can coexist. He just throws them together and expects you to accept what he's saying. And then he comes to libertarian conclusions. Now, the libertarian conclusions I like because I'm a libertarian, but I could do without the bullshit, you know? I could do without the bullshit. So yeah, What If Alt Hist is not okay right now. And, that's a problem. There are actually, I wanted to talk about, there are actually some leftists who are worth listening to, or are worth paying attention to. And there's only really 3 that I can actually think of. Those 3 are a person by the name of Pill Eater, or Joe Nally, who is a leftist, and he is alt-left, and he has a very complex and confusing ideology. He's a leftist, he's a feminist, he's a traditionalist, he's in favor of race mixing, but only between Asians and whites. And he's deeply involved with aesthetics. It's a very interesting philosophy that he has going for him. So I'm interested in hearing from him. Slavoj Žižek, I'm interested in hearing from him because he's actually interesting. He comes up with interesting things. He interprets things in a way that is novel, which is good. And then there is a YouTube user by the name of President Sunday. Now, I first found out about President Sunday because he was criticizing What If Alt Hist. And, you know, when I first clicked on the video, I was expecting, typical leftist drivel. Oh, you're a racist. Oh, you're a bigot. Oh, you're wrong, but I'm not going to explain why. But instead, he actually brought up good points, and he critiqued the things that were being said, and he didn't name call. So I really appreciated that. And then I found out that President Sunday actually critiques leftists as well. And not just in the typical leftist way where, like, oh, I'm critiquing you because you're not far left enough. No, he actually critiques the points and that people make. He critiqued Sabine Hossenfelder for her nonsensical anti-free will arguments. And he also he went over the debate with between Daniel Dennett and Robert Sapolsky, that was about free will. And, you know, he is a leftist, but he believes in free will. So, that's a very rare thing. So yeah, those are interesting people to pay attention to. Now, in 2025, I do want to make a warning. I believe that Antifa will make a comeback pretty much as soon as Trump is inaugurated. They're going to start rioting again. And Trump will not do anything about it. Trump, if you remember, Trump allowed Antifa to run rampant for 4 years. His entire presidency, he did nothing to stop Antifa. So I don't believe that he will do anything to stop Antifa this time either. If he does, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing, and I hope that he does. I wish that he would. But I don't think it's likely to happen. So, yeah, that's a end of the year recap and a prediction for the next year. For next year, I'm going to keep reading. I am going to keep reading for next year, and I'm going to try to publish more papers next year as well. I have several papers that I have ideas for papers anyway, that should be pretty interesting. But I'll talk about those some other time. Thank you for watching. Peace.